On this week's episode of Motivational Minutes, successful day trader Kenny Glick shares how stand-up comedy prepared him for a career in finance. I am so curious to know how comedy prepares you or had prepared you for the life you're living now as a trader.
Well, again, that individual achievement award thing that when you're on stage, you're by yourself. You better perform. It's the same thing here as a trader. It's on you. You got to step up, get on stage, and perform and win. Conquering and having a good set, conquering the market and having a good day. It really is the same thing. But I got to tell you, if you don't have a sense of humor, you will be a very depressed person as a trader. Because listen, I know there are some people that don't want to, they want to pretend that the stock market's not gambling. It is. It is. Either whether short term or long term, it is gambling. When you're buying something, you don't know what the end result's going to be. That's a gamble. So again, that that comedy aspect, I got to tell you, the well, just let me go back to the gambling aspect. When you're a gambler and you win money, what do you think to yourself? I should have bet more. I should have went crazy. And then when you lose money, oh, I'm an idiot. What was I thinking? Oh, same kind of thing here, and it's every day. So if you don't have a thick skin, which you need if you're getting up on stage, because you got your hecklers and you got people that are booing you, and if this was vaudeville, like you said, suddenly cabbages are being thrown at you. I always wondered what the story was with cabbages and tomatoes. Did people sell cabbages and tomatoes
Like
outside the
right outside
show?
the
Right. I really hope this guy stinks so I could throw
right.
this nice head of cabbage
There's
at
a
him.
produce truck right out front of the of
Right.
Gotham Comedy Club.
Exactly. What was the
Yeah.
story with that? But yeah, now you're ducking bottles and Chinese stars or whatever that try to
and
kill you.
Will Smith. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're ducking him too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's funny. I knew really innately that you were going to say. I was just making sure because I really felt exactly what you were going to say because the first time I did stand up, it was like '96, and I lied to the owner of Catch a Rising Star at the time,
Right.
in Chelsea or whatever the hell it was, and and I lied and somehow got on that stage, and I remember being mortified, like, oh my gosh, like if this goes terribly wrong, like this could really like scar me for life. Like if this
Right.
goes, but what I realized though was my point is when you get through doing comedy, people don't realize how seriously nerve wracking that can be and getting through a set without getting booed or heckled. And I got off the stage thinking that I could do anything once I did that. Like like I can walk through fire now that
Nice.
I've done stand up,
Oh
right,
yeah.
without getting booed or heckled. So I can imagine there's like nerves of steel that come from that, right? That really come in handy for trading.
Absolutely.
you
Wait,
know,
are you saying you've never been heckled or booed?
I have to say I have never been heckled or booed. I have to be. I got to know. No, I mean, I'm not. Not toot my own horn,
Nice
but
job.
never. But you know what though? But you know what? You have again talk about like you have to recover sometimes from jokes that didn't do as well as you thought they would
Sure.
do. You thought the laugh would be bigger than, but knock on whatever my desk is made of, I've never gotten heckled or booed, which is
Wow.
so far so good.
Impressive.
So you
Nice.
have?
Oh yeah, everybody's been,
I know, I know.
I've been kind
Yes.
of just like I've been cricketed. You know what that is when you say something and not a sound. All you
Oh
hear is the
yeah.
crickets. That's
That's yeah.
worse.
That's I'm scared of that one.
That's
I,
worse.
I haven't, but again, that gives you nerves of steel. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you get through that?
Yeah.
Nobody can touch you if you get through something like that.
Right.
I think right before I was going to do my first show, I bumped into Janine Garofalo on the street just randomly, right? Just a strange, random moment when it
Right.
happened.
That's cool.
Um, and I told her, I said, "Hey, I'm such a big fan. I guess God put me here to tell you that I'm doing a comedy show in 2 days, and I lied to get in. I have no idea what I'm doing." And she said, "Okay, well, here's my advice for you. If you tell a joke and all you hear is like the electricity that's going through like the beams
Yes.
above you, like that's how silent that is. If no one laughs, she said, if you can handle that, go on and give it give it a go." And I
Yeah.
was like mortified. So yeah, it's a big deal. People don't really realize that it's
Oh
kind of a
yeah.
scary thing,
Oh
but
yeah.
it gives us backbone. No, so Kenny, let me ask you. I guess we're at the end of our time here, but I do want to ask you some advice though. If you had to advise a young, I mean, you've already given some great advice here today, but if you had like a young person who's they're interested in being a trader and they're like, you know what? I want to give it a go. I don't know if it's for me. How do they kind of get their feet wet and just test it out and see if it makes sense for them?
I'd be doing you a disservice by telling you to go anywhere else but to my website.
Mm,
Because what I do is I teach you from the ground level up. So let's look thinking about it as a golf swing. I don't know if you play golf. You ever play golf?
no.
Okay. Oh, I play sports. So when I tried golf, I figured, hey, I could do this. I could swing a bat. I'm a tennis
Hmm.
player. I could hit a golf ball. I'm doing my golf. And then my wife got me golf lessons, and I went to a professional. And I'm
Mm.
sitting there. He's like, all right, let me show me what you got. So I pull the club up, and immediately he's like, is that how you're going to stand? I'm like, yeah. He's like, is that how you're going to hold the club? I'm like, yeah. All right. So he's like, let me see you swing. Is that the way you're going to keep your head? Yeah. He's like, all right, you're a mess. And here I was thinking I was doing something right. It's the same thing in trading. If you develop bad habits as a trader, as an investor, first you have to unlearn all those bad habits, those bad ideas. What I teach is only what works. So I'll give you the list of stuff not to do, but I'm only going to teach you what works. So if you're beginning, I don't have to unteach you anything. All you're learning is the best of the best. And I'm someone who's been doing this for 30 years. Trust me, I know what doesn't work. I've done everything wrong and I've managed to succeed for 30 years. I've blown myself up, I've gotten annihilated, and again, I've been a shorter, someone that bets against the market. So 2012, 2013, when the market took off and the government really just stepped up their game with their QE and helping the market along, it really caught me off guard because I thought we were about to go down, and I really took some lumps that year, but I learned from it. And fast forward 10 years later, I won't make those mistakes, but I'll teach you those mistakes so you won't make them, and only focus on the VWAP. And once you start treating the market as a casino, and again, I know when you go to college, you learn about macro and micro, and you learn about all the intricacies and fundamental analysis. We are not interested in any of that. We are just looking at the market on a technical basis. It's all just about the price of the stock and the volume going into it. And once you start looking at the market, you've seen the movie The Matrix. When you first see The Matrix, it's just green lines and stuff. But then eventually, when you're looking at it, oh, now I see the girl in the red dress. Oh, I see everything now. That's exactly how trading works. At first, it's just a bunch of lines and numbers and squiggly stuff going by the screen, but we teach you what you're looking at, and then it becomes clearer and more clear. And then inevitably, you get a knack for it. And then, like I said, making money becomes redundant because it really is the same day over and over again. And you learn how to appreciate that. So then you could trade in any environment. So when the market's going up, you'll make money. Market's going down, you'll make money. Even when the market's going nowhere, when you're trading the way that we do, you can make money. And like I said to my friends that are thinking about getting into this industry, don't trade until you know what you're doing.
Subscribe today for more inspiration on the go.